Hey guys. Okay, so this series is going to be specifically for the feet and everything that relates to the feet. So one of the positions that we've kind of lost as a society is our natural squatting position. And that was a really primary position that was actually very beneficial for our bodies. And part of the reason for that is that in this malasana squat style position, our ankles and our knees and our hips are all in a super flexed position. So in a way, it's compressing the joint. And though that sounds like maybe it wouldn't be such a great thing for the joint, it's actually really healthy for our joints to be compressed. And then when we come out of the position, it allows for the space for blood flow to come back in. So it's actually kind of like a flush for our joints. So this primary position right here, malasana squat, or whatever you want to term it as, is really something that would be beneficial if we could bring it back into our daily activities. Even if it's not that we're hanging around with our friends sitting awkwardly like this. Maybe for some it's not awkward because I do this. But at the same time, this can be incorporated into your daily routines. Even you go to squat down and pick something up off the floor. Well, maybe you're just going to hang here for a second and remember that it feels really good to have those joints just kind of in their full flexion, and it also allows for the lumbar spine, the very low points of our spine, to decompress as we're here. So basically I've naturally found this because my feet were really bothering me back before I switched over to barefoot shoes. And so I come home every night after doing a long day of massage, and my feet would be burning or numb, or I would have like white toes. So I would start in this position and start doing toe raises. And that really does help to open up the front of the ankles. It actually helps to strengthen your ankles and your arches, and to get a little bit more space in the metatarsals so that our feet can kind of widen out. We almost want our toes to splay across the ground. So do this just 10 times. That's all you got to do. Now, because I don't want to overwhelm you, we're going to go in and out of the malasana squat, because if you're not used to it, it's pretty intense. So then come down to your knees, and we're just going to prop one foot in front, and now we're just going to raise the knee up and lower it. Raise the knee up and lower it. Let's see, you can't really see my position very well. 1 second here. Okay. So back to our position here. So I'm just raising the knee and lowering. Now, if you don't feel anything with this, great. I feel it on this foot, but when I switch to the other side, I feel nothing. So that's why it's really great to separate the legs when we're working with any kind of imbalance in the body, to help to identify what that imbalance is and where it is. So if both of these are pain-free for you, then we can come down, toes are still tucked under, and you're going to want to probably support yourself with your fingertips and bring the knees up and down, up and down. Now, if you're really strong, feeling really good, and have been doing this a lot, then you may not need to touch the floor. This is actually a really good lower abdominal strengthener, and it's not that easy, but it's incredibly effective for opening up the feet. So I'm just going to do how many ever I did, 5 to 8 I would say for you. And then we want to start stretching the front of the shins and the ankles. So you're probably feeling a pretty good burn in the front of the shins and the ankles from that strengthening and from activating them. So if it's too painful to just flatten your feet out and sit right back down on them, grab a rolled up towel or blanket and put it under the front of the ankles before you come back into this position. It's a pretty intense stretch for me, but I know my body's okay with it, so we're just gonna hang here until it feels a little bit better. Kind of let that fascia unwind. So then the next one, we're gonna come up, bring your knees a little bit wider so they're really an accurate hip width apart. And then we're just gonna come back and forward. And it's okay if your knees pop like mine just did. Hopefully it's pain-free like mine is. So as we're doing this, we're getting even more of a stretch in the front of the shins, and also just kind of adding more mobility to the front of the ankles. All right, and if you want to, you can do this more, or if you're ready, you can sit back down and see if that feels any more open. For me, it definitely feels a lot better. And then I'm just gonna bring the toes back under the feet and kind of sit back on that for a second, let the fascia get comfortable with that. You know, I think I make up my own words. But hey, I'm having fun. I hope you are too. All right, so now back to our malasana squat. And now we just are gonna kind of start rocking around. There's no Christmas tree, so we can't be rocking around the Christmas tree today, but maybe when you watch this, there will be a Christmas tree. So then if that feels comfortable, see if you can bring your hips just a little bit further down towards the ground. And as we push the elbows into the knees, it helps to open up the inner thigh, but also get more traction in the low spine and the lumbar and the sacral area. All right, so that is it for today, for right now. Make sure you come out of this slowly, because as we had mentioned before, all of those joints have been compressed. So when you go to stand up, all the blood's gonna rush right into your legs. So make sure you don't just come right back up, because I don't want anybody passing out. So I hope that's helpful for you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time.